but I want you to know, double vaxxed, booster, traveled, went to Mexico twice, did shows, meet and greets, never got COVID. Clearly, Jesus loves me the most. Seriously. So nice, so nice.
Agora tem 1 minuto para a réplica.
¿Qué te pasó? Ay, chicos.
Bueno, vamos a hacer la pausa.
Ay, no, Dios mío, se ha desmayado. Quítale la careta.
En turno van a poder ser atendidos de manera rápida. Perdón, Claudio.
Cerrame. ¿Qué pasó? ¿Qué pasó? No. Por favor.
Desculpa, gente, não estou me sentindo bem.
He joins us live in the studio. Alyssa, this really is the calm before the storm.
Not again. No.
¿Sabe por quê? Olha,
Hey. Oh my God.
Whoa,
Please, get a medic. Guys, can we please get a medic?
Guys.
Espectáculo, aviador, ven para acá. Cuéntanos un poquito. Ay, cuidado. Ay, Dios mío.
He even, while dancing, he collapsed and he died there itself. And this is the third such incident in just span of 1 week.
Right side of your screen, that's Emo Esian. Sophomore guard stops, then slowly goes down to the ground. Players from both teams crying, looking on, and hoping their teammate was okay.
Referee wobbles. Then he collapses. He is furiously performing chest compressions.
Franquillera, el Yanis Garrido, se desmayó cuando trabajaba para el...
A 21-year-old soccer player dies on the field, another victim of the murderous mRNA vaccination. 22-year-old Kabaddi player dies of a heart attack during a match, another victim of the toxic vaccinations. 24-year-old athlete dies suddenly after collapsing during a game due to the vaccinations. Young kickboxer collapses and dies in ring after gene vaccination. 20-year-old dancer dies of a heart attack on stage, another tragic vaccine victim. 20-year-old ice hockey player dies of vaccination side effects during tournament. Hockey player dies mid-game from vaccine-induced cardiac arrest. 20-year-old soccer player collapses on field and dies from fatal vaccine side effects. Dancer collapses on stage and dies due to lethal vaccination. Athlete collapses and dies of cardiac arrest during bike race after vaccinations. 30-year-old marathon runner dies of vaccine-induced heart attack just before finish line. Magician dies on stage during a performance, a tragic victim of vaccinations. Radio host dies of heart attack live on air, a typical effect of the vaccination. Trainer dies of vaccine-induced heart attack during training session. Runner dies after vaccine-induced collapse at Kuala Lumpur Marathon. Soccer player dies of a heart attack on the field, like many other athletes after vaccination. Handball player dies after suffering a vaccine-induced cardiac arrest mid-game, and another in the hospital. 22-year-old midfielder dies of heart attack after collapsing in training. Another sudden death of a healthy athlete after being vaccinated.
All of this after a bioweapon shot that we know with absolute certainty is causing myocarditis and other heart issues in healthy young people who receive it. Do not let the media gaslight you into believing that athletes dropping dead is just something normal and routine. It's not. It never has been.
These pictures and reports don't lie. There are COVID vaccine-induced deaths and injuries covered up by the media on a worldwide scale. Victims who, according to countless media sources, leading politicians and their experts, should not exist. Everywhere, the unvaccinated were ostracized and discriminated against.
KLA TV has 17 hours of footage documenting a huge vaccination crime. It shines light onto extensive COVID vaccination deaths and vaccination injuries of prominent personalities worldwide. What is the scale behind the covered-up deaths and vaccine damage extrapolated to the population? Because this extensive documentation lists just part of those cases. The media had to report these since it concerns prominent personalities.
Every attempt, even just to start pointing out the innumerable corona vaccination deaths and vaccination victims for the population, led to an immediate denigration and contempt by the mainstream media. One of these media victims is the initiator of the Gallery of Horror, Peter Ganz. His exhibition of over 3,500 personal fates of suffering related to corona vaccination has been publicly displayed in numerous cities in Germany. This was obviously a thorn in the side of the advocates of the corona policy and the vaccination operators. The consequence? This extensive documentation was largely confiscated in house searches.
In addition to Peter Ganz, worldwide, numerous free media, virologists, epidemiologists, platforms, and truth-loving initiatives documented numerous deaths and enormous vaccine damage that occurred shortly after the start of the corona vaccination. They did this to warn the unsuspecting public of the dangers and consequences of vaccination. Here a few such representative warning cries.
France, December 2022. Numerous lined-up photos of COVID vaccination deaths, mostly young people, shock people in various French cities. Germany, January 2023. A court action in front of the German Bundestag is to show the population and politics the enormous damage of the COVID vaccination. Warning call from Israel. Desperate Israeli citizens documented on camera how they suffer from the severe side effects and deaths in their environment after the corona vaccination. April 2021. The KLA TV documentary Urgent Wake Up Call, Thousands Die After Corona Vaccination documented the highly alarming numbers of deaths immediately after the start of the vaccination in German nursing homes. Worldwide, extensive databases testify to the fate of countless top athletes who suddenly collapsed, often even died, immediately after vaccination.
KLA TV has issued urgent warnings about this very development in over 100 broadcasts. Numerous experts, specialists, and virologists have pointed out in time the enormous danger and the unforeseeable consequences in connection with the experimental vaccination technology.
Such warnings and desperate cries were concealed, defamed to the extreme. They were censored by the mainstream media. Free media, which let the aggrieved population have their say, were immediately defamed by the mainstream media in the worst possible way. Not infrequently branded as a danger to the population. Now, where the extent of death and vaccination damages in connection with the corona vaccination can no longer be denied and the media cannot get around reporting about vaccination victims and celebrity fates, these cases are represented as a rule by the mainstream media skillfully as so-called individual fate. Quite a few clear deaths and vaccine injuries are also covered up by media and governmental institutions as so-called COVID or long COVID cases. This was the case with Italian Colonel Galliano, who died shortly after vaccination. His friend testified in an emotional video statement that he was forced to receive the corona vaccination. When he died a few days after the vaccination, the Italian police department stated as the official cause of death that he died as a result of COVID. His friend is very angry about this and wants to make it known everywhere that he died from the vaccination.
It also seems symbolic that quite a few vaccination advocates have died after being vaccinated. Among them, the developer of the CDC's COVID vaccination app, the composer of the promotional song Find the Vaccine, and the 38-year-old who called for the imprisonment of the unvaccinated died of acute heart failure. Elvis Presley's only daughter also died suddenly of a heart attack. She was a strong vaccination advocate and even promoted it. Other vaccination supporters suffer from side effects.
Sie sagen ja, man soll dann erst diese Impfpflicht scharf schalten, wenn sie nötig ist. Ist das dann nicht viel zu spät? Wir müssen uns und ja.
KLA TV has summarized this 17-hour footage for you. The following list shows, due to the huge amount, second by second, 763 prominent COVID vaccination deaths and at high speed hundreds of prominent vaccination victims. We recall at this point the speech by Ivo Sasek, founder of KLA TV, when he summarized immediately before the saving corona vaccine was given worldwide. All the mortality lists in the world to date prove that up to here, December 30th, 2020, there has been no higher mortality rate than in normal flu years, rather below, as far as I know. What happened after the vaccination? Now see for yourself.
Kannst du die Stimmen hören, ohne sie herauf zu beschwören? Ein Weinen aus der Unterwelt, ihr Schreien in den Ohren güllt. Jahrzehntelang am Widerhall von Schüssen, die dumpf aufprallen. Wie könnt ich Schweigen ignorieren, das Dunkelziffer eure Gräber ziehen? Musstet ihr von uns gehen? Dieses Unrecht wollen wir nicht mehr übersehen. Wir ziehen eure Leiden ans Licht und die Fälschung der Geschichte ins Gericht.
Sie waren jung, sie waren fit und sogar sehr berühmt. Sie wurden von ihren Familien und Fans geliebt. Und plötzlich fallen sie, nein, sowas gab's noch nie. Der Druck war doch zu groß, sich durchzuimpfen wie das Vieh. Unerwartet tot, sie liegen am Boden, ihr Herz ist attackiert. Von Zittern bis zum Herzstillstand ist alles seit Impfbeginn notiert. Warum ein Herzinfarkt oder ein Herzstillstand? Bei solch gesunden Menschen und dazu in jedem Land. Noch nicht genug, es gibt auch hier einen Tumor am laufenden Band. Die Blutgerinnsel, Muskelstörung, plötzliche Lähmung, Hautausschlag. Beine sind amputiert, Rollstuhl wird rumkutschiert. Der Traum beendet, Fackel geht's, warum ist das passiert?
Wie sinnlos musstet hier von uns gehen. Dieses Unrecht wollen wir nicht mehr übersehen. Wir ziehen eure Leiden ans Licht und die wahren Drahtzieher vor Gericht. Doch auch heute geschieht ein Massenmord im Namen der Gesundheit, des Komfort. Die Konzerne sollen jetzt mit profitieren. Dazu braucht man nur noch Forscher zu schmieren.
Das hier sind Schicksale von Promis, die Menschen kennen. Von TV-Stars zu Spitzensportlern und Naturtalenten. Was ist mit denen, die man nicht im Fernsehen sieht? Wer zeigt uns auch, was seit dem Impfstart mit dem Volk geschieht? Wer kennt die Schicksale der Väter, Mütter, Brüder, Schwestern, Onkel, Tante, Nichten, Neffen, Freundinnen, Chefs und Kinderhüter? Wer trägt die Konsequenzen all dieser Wahnsinnsschäden? Sie haben uns genötigt, wer trocknet jetzt die Tränen? Es ist Zeit, wir ziehen sie nun zur Rechenschaft, denn das Blut all dieser Menschen klebt an ihrer Hand. Gemeinsam stoppen wir den weltweiten Völkermord. Wir decken sie auf und schicken sie vor.
Wie sinnlos musstet ihr von uns gehen? Dieses Unrecht wollen wir nicht mehr übersehen. Wir ziehen eure Leiden ans Licht und die wahren Drahtzieher vor Gericht. Nach Epochen der Machtlosigkeit haben wir uns von den Ketten befreit, schreiben neu die Geschichte der Zeit. Bei Geschichte immer nur der Sieger schreibt. Bei Geschichte immer nur der Sieger schreibt.
23-year-old horse trainer died after boss required her to get vaccinated.
I'm the mum of Caitlin Gotts. 12 weeks ago, 17th of November 2021, she dropped dead at work. In her words, in her text to me, she said she felt like she was dying after her second vaccine. She is my baby, but she had another 75 years that she should have been living, and she was doing uni, she wanted to be a vet. So,
reality star dies at 30 from cancer triggered by vaccinations. 20-year-old ballerina dies of sudden cardiac death after vaccination. 29-year-old hurling player dies after tragic accident due to vaccine-related collapse. King of Colombian pop music dies suddenly after third dose of vaccine. Country singer dies of vaccine side effects hours after his wedding. Jazz musician Ronald McFadden dies unexpectedly after a performance as a result of toxic vaccinations. 23-year-old soccer player dies 3 days after receiving COVID vaccine from Janssen.
It was heart-wrenching. And for what? This man didn't really want to get a vaccine. So, Minister Donnelly, I'm asking you now, in the most serious way, to stop this vaccination programme before any more young people die. You were warned this would be the result. I warned you this would be the result. And you have blood on your hands, and you should be done for manslaughter, every one of you.
Wie sinnlos musstet ihr von uns gehen? Dieses Unrecht wollen wir nicht mehr übersehen. Wir ziehen eure Leiden ans Licht und die Fälschung der Geschichte ins Gericht.
Sie waren jung, sie waren fit und sogar sehr berühmt. Sie wurden von ihren Familien und Fans geliebt. Und plötzlich fallen sie, nein, sowas gab's noch nie. Der Druck war doch zu groß, sich durchzuimpfen wie das Vieh. Unerwartet tot, sie liegen am Boden, ihr Herz ist attackiert. Von Zittern bis zum Herzstillstand ist alles seit Impfbeginn notiert. Warum ein Herzinfarkt oder ein Herzstillstand? Bei solch gesunden Menschen und dazu in jedem Land.
Wie sinnlos musstet ihr von uns gehen? Dieses Unrecht wollen wir nicht mehr übersehen. Wir ziehen eure Leiden ans Licht und die wahren Drahtzieher vor Gericht. Doch auch heute geschieht ein Massenmord im Namen der Gesundheit, des Komforts. Die Konzerne sollen jetzt mit profitieren. Dazu braucht man nur noch Forscher zu schmieren.
Das hier sind Schicksale von Promis, die Menschen kennen. Von TV-Stars zu Spitzensportlern und Naturtalenten. Was ist mit denen, die man nicht im Fernsehen sieht? Wer zeigt uns auch, was seit dem Impfstart mit dem Volk geschieht? Wer kennt die Schicksale der Väter, Mütter, Brüder, Schwestern, Onkel, Tanten, Nichten, Neffen, Freundinnen, Chefs und Kinderhüter? Wer trägt die Konsequenzen all dieser Wahnsinnsschäden? Sie haben uns genötigt, wer trocknet jetzt die Tränen? Es ist Zeit, wir ziehen sie nun zur Rechenschaft. Denn das Blut all dieser Menschen klebt an ihrer Hand. Gemeinsam stoppen wir den weltweiten Völkermord. Wir decken sie auf und schicken sie fort.
Wie sinnlos musstet ihr von uns gehen? Dieses Unrecht wollen wir nicht mehr übersehen. Wir ziehen eure Leiden ans Licht und die wahren Drahtzieher vor Gericht. Nach Epochen der Machtlosigkeit haben wir uns von den Ketten befreit, schreiben neu die Geschichte der Zeit.
Numerous pilots, flight attendants, and co-pilots die during or after the flight, have to make emergency landings or turn back. Greg Pearson, commercial pilot, says his colleagues die like flies after COVID vaccination. Marco Tossati, moreover, reports vaccine injuries in pilots, myocarditis, pericarditis, heart attacks, stroke, blindness. KLATV has still hundreds of reports of vaccine-damaged celebrities. From 17 hours of footage, we summarize in fast motion.
26-year-old basketball player suffers blood clot shortly after COVID-19 vaccination.
Like, that all happened in a span of a month. I was fine up until then. Up until I took the vaccine, I was fine. And they just like, don't say anything about it. Don't tell nobody. Yes, the vaccine ended my season. 1000%.
TV star Monique, 28, talks about her pericarditis caused by the Pfizer shot.
And yeah, and like, you know, the palpitations, and it's like having a heart attack. It's just for someone under 30 who's healthy, I don't drink, I don't take drugs, I don't even have caffeine. Like, it's just rubbish. And I've never had heart problems in my life. I don't have any, like, prior conditions whatsoever. So it's not me saying it's from the vax, it is confirmed, it is from the vax.
Triathlete suffers constant and extreme pain after COVID vaccination.
On April 13th, I very enthusiastically took my second Pfizer shot. At that point, my whole life changed. We are an uncomfortable truth that vaccines cause severe, life-altering injuries.
Basketball player did not want the vaccination, but was forced. And now his career is over. A 29-year-old model suffers persistent seizures after second dose of Pfizer mRNA vaccine.
Just breathe. Slow down. Just concentrate on breathing. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's okay.
A 20-year-old double-vaccinated model develops myocarditis, suffers heart attack, and has to have both legs amputated.
And this all comes while the CDC is openly admitting that the vaccines do cause myocarditis in his age group. I mean, here it is from the horse's mouth itself. Myocarditis and pericarditis.
Australian star rider hospitalized with blood clots after the Pfizer vaccination.
I was pretty much told no jab, no job, did what was right to do. I was a perfectly healthy, normal 19-year-old kid and have never been to hospital whatsoever, super active.
Spanish singer reports how she nearly died a few days after the vaccination. Due to the injection, she lost a finger and her feet turned black. 36-year-old boxer has been bedridden and unable to work since his third dose of Pfizer vaccine.
I just want to get back in my feet. Just want to go in my bed.
Just want my heart rate to go back to normal.
Musician and guitarist loses 8 fingers due to blood clots after Johnson & Johnson vaccination.
I got the COVID shot on July the 9th. I came out of the coma and come to find out that my fingers, 8 of them, were amputated. I mean, I think it's a crime what has happened and what has gone on. I mean, people have got to be held accountable for what has happened. Definitely has got to be brought to the forefront and brought to the light. And people have, and some people have got to be held accountable for what has happened.
24-year-old Olympian can barely manage on her own and wanted to end her life after Pfizer vaccine.
To be in the Olympic team for synchronized swimming, I used to train 6 days a week, 10 hours a day, incredibly hyperactive. I was also always known as the person that was like running around set, doing stupid things, backflips when I shouldn't be doing them and stuff like that. The industry required me to be double vaccinated to work on films, and I immediately regretted it. As soon as she put it in my arm, I just thought, what have I done? I can't explain how awful it was, and I was dizzy. I was literally crawling. Like, I really thought my life was over. Because I couldn't even cook for myself. I couldn't even stand up. I couldn't care for myself. My mum would come and see me, I think like twice a week, to change my bed sheets for me, do a food shop for me, clean my house for me.
Steh auf, und erheb deine Stimme. Steh auf und zeig dein Gesicht. Du wächst über dich hinaus, deine Wurzeln tief und fest. Weder Tod noch Teufel fürchtest du jetzt. Was kann dich alleine bewegen? Was kann dich alleine schon tun? Fragst du dich, drehst dich und traust den Augen nicht. So viel Göttliches wächst im Morgenlicht. Nur auf mich kommt es an, sehen nun alle. Auf mich und auf dich im Herz vereint. Was mir fehlt, was uns quält, verurteile ich nicht, sondern fülle jeden Mangel selber auf. Steh auf und bleib stehen, wenn der Sturm kommt. Bleibe fest, werde mit uns zum Licht, bis die Dunkelheit flieht und der Sturm sich verzieht, bis die ganze Menschheit Gott in sich sieht. Erkenne, wer wir sind. Erkenne deine göttliche Natur. Nimm das Schicksal in die Hand für dich und jedes Land und bau mit uns eine neue Welt. Steh auf und erheb deine Stimme. Stehe auf und zeig dein Gesicht. Du wächst über dich hinaus, deine Wurzeln tief und fest. Weder möchtest du jetzt? Steh auf und bleib stehen, wenn der Sturm kommt. Bleibe fest, werde mit uns zum Licht, bis die Dunkelheit flieht und der Sturm sich verzieht, bis die ganze Menschheit Gott in sich sieht.
Television presenter Zara Triferi tells about her cruel suffering caused by the vaccination, appealing to all people.
And please, from the bottom of my heart, do not allow people to inject themselves with this toxic product. This injection has caused all this damage to me, like many other people who do not say it because of fear. Every day, it destroys my body more and more. I see blurry, every day more blurry. It's sad that so many people have died unjustly because of it. After all, those who get vaccinated are not saved in any way. Sooner or later, damage will occur.